Betty Sabo's just a legend in the Albuquerque art scene, and we thought that when it came time to do a Mother Teresa, it would be great to have a female artist actually sculpt Mother Teresa, because we had not had a female artist involved, and so it just kind of made sense because she was so well considered and she had been so helpful, and we thought that for Mother Teresa, she'd be perfect.
From my perspective as her daughter, I know that a lot of her life was dedicated to donations and raising money for public, like for the art museum or for the Archdiocese of Santa Fe or whatever. And her desire to have a better community wherever she could, whatever she could touch.
Our introduction to Betty came to us through Sonny Rivera. Our purpose in going to Albuquerque was to commission Sonny to do the bar relief of Juan Diego. And at that very same meeting, he was so excited, so I just got to call Betty. I've got to call Betty. And so Betty got in her car and came over, and we were in Sonny's studio. And that's how Monsignor Fitzgerald and I first met Betty Sabo. And we quickly found out is that Betty was kind of the art authority inside of Albuquerque. In fact, on that day, the Albuquerque Art Museum was closed, and she didn't worry about that at all. She called the director and said, "I'm coming over, make sure the museum's open." And he did what she told her to do. We actually had a private tour of the entire Albuquerque Art Museum on a day when it was closed to the public.
She spent most of her professional life being an oil painting artist. Oil paints are highly toxic things, and she got an allergy to the oil paints. And so when she would paint, she would really suffer. She had like big burn marks up her arms, and I can't exactly say. They just told her to quit painting because she had allergies to the paints. She would have been about 65, 64, 65. So she decided to become a sculptor. And straight out of the chute, she was very talented, very good.
We met her at a time when she was very mature in her art mediums and in her status as an art official inside of Albuquerque.
She believed in art. She believed it was a really great communicator. She really wanted there to be art everywhere.
There's this huge thing outside the Albuquerque Art Museum that she and Sonny worked on together. It's like a sculpture garden. There must be 50 pieces in there, from big, huge horses to tiny little children.
And she has, with the Sisters of St. Francis in Colorado Springs, she has something at the Basilica in Santa Fe.
I'm quite sure that the last thing she did was the Mother Teresa that she did for us.
Betty was just beginning the journey into dementia when that came about.
What happened was we commissioned Betty, and about a year went by, and I actually went down and visited her. And it was then that I began to realize, okay, there's some problems here. But the Mother Teresa was about 80% done. It was Sonny Rivera that stepped in, which just kind of completes the circle, because we started off commissioning Sonny for the work. He introduced us to Betty, and then at the very end, Sonny came in. He won't openly share that or admit it, but at the very end, Sonny really helped her to try to get the last little bit of Mother Teresa done. But for the most part, that's Betty's work.
It was a real labor of love for her that she did that statue.
And she actually came to our school and presented it, and her daughter was with her. It was really very sweet and very tender, that she was able to do that. We were able to honor her at our Spiritus Danorum dinner by receiving the statue, and so it really kind of went full circle.